Hi people, welcome. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Dewale and this is DISBYDEM. Pretty sure you just watched the highlights of episodes 1 and 2, which were most of the pod episodes. I think a little bit, maybe there was a little selection in 3. Honestly, I don't remember these. I was watching this thing at 2.0 speed, and it still was a ton of episodes. I kept saying, well, how many episodes do we need? Honestly, they could have pushed some of the episodes, but it's fine. We're here now. I finally watched everything. I did not do my recordings for my reaction to the wedding because honestly, it's not important. The reunion is where it's at, and we're going to watch that once we're done analyzing the couples. So be sure to do all the right things, follow on all the socials. Hit me up, check me out on Patreon. We have fun there, and let's just dive into it. So we ended up having 5 couples. Evandro and Aurelia, I think is how you say her name, right? Or is it Ariella? Honestly, I don't know. The girl is crazy. I think it's Aurelia. Patrick and Marilia, Renata and Alexander, Ingrid and Leandro. I thought he was Leonardo too, but he is Leandro. And then Vanessa and Leonardo. Now, I said the couples meeting, Evandro and Ariella was like the most awkward thing I've ever seen. I don't know why he was walking, hesitating. I don't know why she, I know why now, but it was very awkward and it made sense. As soon as I watched more episodes and we saw their journey, totally made sense. Patrick and Marilia had the best reaction. Patrick had the best reaction to seeing Marilia, and I love that for Marilia. She also received him very well, so I liked it. They had the best reaction. Renata and Alexander, that song that was playing was giving Eat, Pray, Love, honestly. And I wrote fake initially because I just didn't trust their connection. I did say in my reaction to the pods that they're the kind of people that will go on and stay married forever, but I just didn't trust their connection, so I wrote fake just because of everything that went down with Renata, Marilia, and Patrick. I was just like, and Alexander, Marilia, and Aurelia. It was a lot going on for them. Ingrid and Leonardo, I said cute, but he does walk funny, and I'm not going to repeat what I said. Go check it out on Patreon if you want to hear that. And then Vanessa and Leonardo, I just wrote beautiful / sexy because they were beautiful. Their reactions to each other was very cute and wholesome. But they were also the most sexy couple because the kiss. Everybody's kiss was really passionate. But there was something in the way these two kissed that just, I didn't like him, honestly. I didn't really trust him from the beginning. He wasn't really edited for you to like him in the beginning, especially in that first episode. But this couple kind of grows on me throughout the entire thing. Just gonna let you guys know now, they do grow on me. So let's start with the most troublesome couple, Evandro and Aurelia. I don't know. I think from the first freak out that she had when he said to her, "Oh, you're not that heavy," I think the guy should have run. I'm just because there was a lot going on for this girl in this show, and we will get to him. He's not blameless in this, but there was a lot going on for Aurelia in this. I'm hoping that her name is Aurelia and not and I'm hoping that her name is Aurelia and not Ariella. Okay, her name is Ariella. Perfect. There's just a lot going on for this girl. Honestly, I don't even understand because they do show us a couple that ended up getting together and getting engaged and will be getting married in the future. But they don't really show us their journey. It looks like something's happened, but they don't show us their journey. And I almost felt like I would have preferred that kind of drama to Aurelia's drama. Because Aurelia's drama, she needs to see somebody. She needs to see a specialist, if you know what I mean. When I say Yaba left. I don't Nigerians will understand this, but that is where this girl belongs because she is mad. She's crazy. Allegedly, don't sue me. But she's unhinged. I thought that Renata and Mariella would be the biggest problems that we would have this season. But Aurelia, whoa. Whoa. So first of all, she goes on she didn't want to have sex on the honeymoon. Fine, valid. You are entitled to your choices. It is your body. It is your choice. It's your marriage. It's your relationship. But then she kept harping on the fact that, oh, she doesn't want her daughters to see, or her daughter to see this one day and see her having sex on TV. Fine, valid excuse. But she didn't like this man. She did not like him from the first moment that she saw him. I don't know if there was something that he was giving off that she wasn't feeling, but because of her own neurosis, we don't really believe. I didn't believe her. Look, not that I didn't believe her. Because of her neurosis and how she would act and react to things, I found myself siding Evandro, knowing fully well that this guy's closet is full of skeletons. We all know Evandro was shady, not telling her about his second son, not being completely honest with her from the beginning. His family not knowing what he does. It was shady. But her craziness was overshadowing everything. So he came out smelling like a bunch of roses, while she came out to a point where they should have a life jacket or a straight jacket waiting for her at the door. That's how she came off. It was crazy. Anyways, when she also saw Alexander, I think she was attracted to him. Not I think. She literally said he has a sexy voice in front of Evandro when they were on their honeymoon and all the couples came together. And I was like, okay, obviously she's thirsting for this guy, but Alexander was not interested at all. So it's just, if you watched it, and this is mostly for the people that watched it, because you're probably the ones that will click on this anyways. If you haven't watched it, I would say just go watch the episodes. Watch episodes 4 and episode 6 and see how this girl really is. Moving on, Evandro. I think Evandro was shady. I think he lied. I think he hid a lot of things. I think his motives for coming on the show were not sincere, for sure. But he didn't even have to do anything, because Aurelia sunk that ship by herself, and he came out looking like a bed of roses. We'll never know for sure if he was lying now. I mean, a quick internet search will let us know what his lifestyle and basically the kind of person that he is. But we'll never know, because I'm not going to go and search them on their personal lives. I don't care. I'm only reacting to what they tell me on the show. But let's move on, because if I keep talking about this girl, honestly, it's going to be a lot. Also, she was very me, very self-centered and self-absorbed. If she wasn't talking about herself and her problems, it was a big deal. That's why she kept on having problems with the girls. They would gather, and if it wasn't about her, she literally said in one of her one-on-ones that she can't wait to get together with the girls so she can tell them her problems. That's how she phrased it. I can tell them my problems, and I can listen to their own problems. So when she got there, they said, what's been going on with you? She gets upset that they were asking her about her problems when she hadn't heard all their problems. I'm like, what do you want? And this was her running theme throughout the entire series. It was like, I want it to be all about me, but don't talk about me. It's like the girl was crazy. The family received him nicely because they were like, she's insane, take her away from us. That's why they were very nice to him. Otherwise, I've got off topic. She drove me crazy. Every time she was on my screen, I just didn't want to see it, because she needed to be with a specialist. It's the best way that I can say it. But if you know, you know. Moving on to Patrick and Marilia. I don't know. Their relationship was very buddy-buddy, kind of like how they said. Oh, sorry. Evandro and Aurelia, eventually, she leaves, she comes back, and then she blows up at everybody during the second get-together or something like that. All the couples were together. She blows up, she's flipping people off, telling people to F off, this, that. So he eventually pulls an Aurelia on Aurelia, and he leaves her a note and a ring, which was how she left him the first time. So he checked out of that relation. He's like, he's done, and there's nothing else, because she kept seeking, reasons to have a fight. She kept harping on it. Like, there was a lot that she was centering on, and I'm not going to bother going in because she was insane. Was he pure? No. However, we will never know the extent of his, lies or deception because of how crazy she was. So let's move on to Patrick and Marilia. I think most of their problems honestly stem from the fact that they just had different lifestyles, and maybe they just weren't, there wasn't that much passion in their relationship, because it was more a friend type situation, kind of like, they're kind of just sex buddies. If I mean, that's what it was given. He was way too playful, and she would be playful. She was a little neurotic, if I'm being honest. Especially her friendship with Renata. They keep saying that they're friends, but they always want to one up each other. Excuse me, starting from the pod where Renata wanted Patrick chose Morelia, and then they just kept backbiting one by like every stage that they got. Even when they met each other on the honeymoons, Renata was quick to tell Morelia that Alexander had told her that Alexander and Patrick's original motives for coming on the show was just to have fun. I'm like, okay, what is the point of having this conversation if she's your friend? Is she really your friend? Because you're not only trying to kill her thing, but you're also killing your thing because you're including your man. It just didn't make sense to me, and I hated their friendship. Their friendship was terrible. It was a lie essentially, and I kept wondering why they were holding on to it. Marilia would talk to Patrick and say, "Oh, you need to squash this thing with Renata. Let's not let that interfere with our relationship." They essentially were not meant to be, if I'm being honest. And at this thing, they actually proved that you can say no and it can be okay, because this was the most amicable, breakup that I'd ever seen on Love is Blind, of all the Love is Blinds that I've watched. And people, I've watched all of them because they had both agreed before, and that's how it's supposed to be. You have a conversation the night before. I don't think they're sequestered before the wedding. They're living together, for Christ's sake, anyways, planning the wedding together. So why not have a conversation together and say, oh, I'm definitely gonna say yes, or I'm not gonna say yes, and this is my reason. I feel like that's what these people did, and I loved it for them. Do I think that there will be a relationship afterwards? No, because for me, a no at the wedding is a no for life. If you can't get married to them now, you're not getting married to them in future. That's just what I believe. Show me a couple who has proved me wrong on Love is Blind, and I will eat my humble pie. But until then, it's what I believe. Moving on to Renata and Alexander, another couple that was just weird. That whole thing the whole triangle between Patrick, Renata, and Marilia, I just didn't like it. The whole way that Renata was produced or edited to look like she wanted everything that Marilia had, that was kind of icky. And then there was a little bit of emotional manipulation going on in this relationship from Alex and from Renata, but mostly from Alex. The way he would get angry and flip the situation on her, thereby controlling the narrative and controlling her decisions. I didn't like it. He did it in the pods. She kind of deserved it that time. I mean, not the emotional manipulation, but the call outs. She deserved him calling her out about, always saying, I'm worried about how you look, blah, 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 blah. She deserved that. She started that nonsense. However, the emotional manipulation when, she was trying to have a conversation with him, waiting for his friends, and he kind of flipped the whole situation. He got angry and shut down. I didn't like that. Was he produced? Maybe, but he was not my favorite person from the beginning anyways, and I surely wanted them to say no because I didn't think that they should be married. Many couples have proved us wrong and are still together that we didn't think should be married. So, it is what it is because they do say yes at the wedding. Good for them. The one thing that I appreciated Alexander for in this whole series was the fact that he was the only one to call out Aurelia and say you did not have the connection that you expected with Evandro, and now you're just looking for excuses to break up with him, and that's why you're doing all this rubbish everywhere, going around like a peacock and spewing your delusion all around. And I respected that. I was like, he's the only one that stands on business. So maybe he was edited to look like a douchebag, or it was edited to look like he was emotionally manipulating Renata. I don't know, but the fact that he's honest enough to call that out, I can respect that. Next couple, Ingrid and Leandro. Is anybody getting Will and Veronica flashbacks from this couple? Because that's all I could see. Every time Leandro was on stage, all I saw was Will. When I even saw his mother, I was like, Maura! She was giving Maura vibes. I don't even think she was... Did she make it to the wedding? Yes, but she wasn't one of the people that talked to him. So this, I don't know. I don't know what it is that Ingrid is pulled by, because the way Leandro was edited and produced in this whole thing, it's like he doesn't do nothing. She's the woman and the man of the house. She handles business. So she does have that personality. And I feel like personally, she needed somebody more mature for her, because the thing that she was worried about, saying that, oh, she already has 2 kids, she doesn't need a third. I feel like that's what's going to happen, because he doesn't seem like the kind of person that understands the magnitude of the choice that he made coming on the show. Why he came on the show, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. It wasn't to promote a business. It definitely wasn't to get married, because he always looked scared whenever she spoke about, you know, the realities of their situation, their living situation, their finances. He would always sit there and his heart would be thudding, and it's like he didn't really think about these things. And I'm like, okay, it's all fun and games when you're living with your parents, but when you decide that you want to get married, it's a different ballgame entirely. Anywho, their biggest problem was that they were having sexual problems, where she is very much, you know, she wants stimulation and she wants to be active in bed, and it wasn't really clicking for them. So they do go to like a tantric therapist to try and help, you know, get them along the same wavelength. I don't know if it really works. They kind of just don't talk about that after a while, and they move on. Considering that he works like his balls are too big, though, I guess it doesn't really track. It doesn't really track, so it is what it is. They did say yes at the wedding. Another couple that I thought maybe should have said no. But again, it is what it is. I really didn't see the attraction between them. I really didn't. Every time they were together, it almost seemed like she was his big sister or his auntie. And not because she's older, but just the maturity level was just so glaring between these two. And I just didn't understand the attraction. If I'm being honest, her body is banging though. God, my Lord. Nah, her body is banging. Moving on to the last couple, Vanessa and Leandro. Let's be honest, these people had, if not the most perfect run of any couple I've ever seen on Love is Blind. Maybe the second most perfect. I think they're perfect. The only people that could come close were Tiffany and Brett. And the only reason why I say Tiffany and Brett is because they had a very perfect run, with the exception of Tiffany sleeping in the pods and her having a breakdown right before the wedding. Now, the breakdown right before the wedding was not because of anything that had to do with her and Brett. It was the stress of planning a wedding. But they put that in there because you can't just have a perfect run, right? They want drama, even if it's with the most perfect couple. And these guys had it perfect. They had no problems. Family meetings went great. They connected on a spiritual, physical, emotional level. I love Vanessa. She's spicy and she has a very freaky side, which I absolutely love. And they are just sexy. Like, honestly, my first note when I started watching it, I was just like, sexy. Just sexy. That was it. I had no other notes for them. Even in the end, like the episode before the weddings, I think it's 10 or 9, where she's like, oh, I want to see how he behaves in his bachelor party. You can just tell that production told them to say that, because she trusts this man 100%, and there was nothing going to happen between him and any other person that will cause her to doubt his feelings for her. Love it. It was the most perfect run of any Love is Blind couple I have ever seen in my life. And if they are not together today, I will be shocked. I fully expected them to say yes for their wedding, and they did. And I was happy about that, people. I had no problems about that. They then show us Khaled, who was the overweight guy. And apparently he and Muriel, the other girl with like the curly hair, she was pretty. I remember seeing her in the pods. They actually did match up. And my question is, are they limited to 5 couples? Is that why we didn't get to see Khaled and Muriel's story? Because even if Muriel saw him during the couple reveal and she decided that, oh, his weight maybe threw her off and that's not what she was expecting, so she needed to take a step back, why wouldn't they show us this journey? They did it for the girl that was overweight 2 seasons ago, and she got dumped right on the spot. He saw her and said, no, Crazy Eyes is who I want, and he left. So why wouldn't they show us this part of the journey where it's a different, where the roles are reversed, you know? And in the end, they still end up together, still end up engaged. And I just didn't like it. And I also really liked him from the beginning. I thought that it was very significant for them to bring the opposite sex dealing with a lot of things that women deal with, you know, something that they've even brazenly shown on the show before. Like, it just didn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. Khaled and Muriel got engaged. I'm not really sure what happened after the engagement, but they met up when they left the show and they reconnected, started dating, are engaged, and will be getting married soon. I think that they should have brought them back. If they could bring back Zach and Bliss after the whole, you know, triangle situation with whatever that girl's name was. Oh, what was her freaking name? I hated that girl so much. Micah's best friend. Oh, God. Two of them can just... Bleh. But if we could see Zach and Bliss's story, I feel like it's the same thing. Honestly, I feel like it's the same thing. And they should have brought them on, especially when they knew Evandro and Ariella were going to implode. I'm just saying. But anyways, we did get to see bits and pieces of them. And I think they're on the reunion. So I'm actually excited for that. I think this reunion is going to be fire. Woof. It's going to be fire. So out of the 5 couples that said yes to each other in the pods, 3 of them said yes in the wedding, 1 disbanded before the wedding, and 1 said no. So that's what we get to look forward to. I didn't really want to waste too much time on covering the couples. I just wanted to touch on, you know, all the little things here and there. I mean, there were a lot of notes that I took, but honestly the notes just helped me put my what's it called together. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch the reunion, and hopefully we can get through it before the house wakes up, because it's 4:15. Let's see what we can see. It's about to be a very spicy reunion. You guys know if I don't watch anything, I always watch the reunions. So if you have any reunions that you want me to watch, let me know in the comment section and I'll just go watch it. I don't need to watch the shows, people. I always just go for the reunions. Only always the reunions.
Dado mais uma chance pro amor. Agora, quem será que segue juntos, firmes e fortes? Nanda e Mac, esse casal que eu amo. E esse casamento, por exemplo, rendeu até um filho, gente. Vocês, Marília e Patrick. Vamos relembrar um pouquinho da trajetória desse casal que deu o que
I don't think they're
falar.
together anymore.
Será?
Did he get hair plugs done? He looks like his forehead.
Vou desistir de encontrar um novo amor.
Já tá, meus amores. Vai dar confusão.
Eu confundi você com uma outra pessoa.
That was the first red flag for
Você fez
me.
uma escolha. E não se arrepende.
That was the first red flag for me.
Convicto de que é ela.
Best reaction, honestly.
Cara, na lua de mel, aquele quarto vai ficar pequeno.
Now, why is he
Será que finalmente esse
sitting?
momento chegou?
Só que a gente
I
vai
don't think
fazer
so.
essa revelação de uma maneira meio maluquete, sabe? Meio parecida com você.
Oh, she didn't even waste time with that
Pensou,
smashing.
gente.
Right?
Sentar, que a gente tem muita coisa pra conversar.
Do we? Yeah, I doubt that they would.
Que eu vou entregar esse entretenimento.
A
não
gente
foi?
achou que vocês saíram, né? Tinham saído namorando.
Sim. Mas uma pergunta, né? Todo mundo na internet.
Nenhum. Ele sabe disso muito bem.
Vai falar comigo, vai me responder, a gente vai trocar uma ideia. Não temos nenhuma ponta solta.
Nenhum, pelo amor de Deus. É o que eu
Tipo,
falei, não tenho nenhum problema com ele. Meu, precisa falar comigo.
meu entretenimento, quem sou eu de
Eu não
verdade.
aguento entregar meu carisma. Cara, eu vi que você deu
Tá
uma
diferente.
mudada aí, tá diferente.
Tô diferente, agora eu fiz uma operação.
That's
Mas eu
why
quero saber,
I knew
tá
it.
solteira?
I should have just trusted my
solteira.
Tá
God.
solteira. Tá solteiro? Não, eu quero melhorar minha pergunta pra você. Sua cachorra? Ou teve alguém que roubou esse coração, tá apaixonado?
Não, além da Nala, a Nala é um anjo que salvou minha vida. Eu já falei isso várias vezes. A Nala é um amor eterno, né? Acho que não tem limite. Mas hoje eu tô namorando, hoje eu sigo namorando. Voltei com a pessoa que me largou pra ir pra Europa, que eu citei no começo do programa.
E essa repercussão
no.
toda da temporada não abalou em nada na relação.
Não, a gente
I don't like the
seguiu,
sound of
teve que
that.
seguir maduro, já sabia que era uma coisa que ia
But
acontecer,
if he's
uma coisa que
happy,
tava por vir.
I
E
like
a Marília
it.
tem uma situação bem definida, que é tipo de parceiro, de amigo, então não tem por que ter nenhum tipo de atrito.
Marília, e quando você recebeu essa informação do namoro, alguma coisa te afetou ou não?
Cara, pra mim, assim, ó, eu sou super a favor do amor. Eu sempre falei isso e sigo batendo nessa tecla pra sempre. E eu super bem pra ele.
I don't think there's anything
real.
there, so
Quero que ele
I
seja
doubt
muito
that she'll be
feliz, que
worried
ela tenha a
about
melhor
it.
versão dele, que seja um relacionamento saudável.
Você tá demais, hein, Marília?
Eu sou demais.
O que aconteceu? Que maturidade, que loucura, hein?
Ai, eu amo o elenco, gente. Olha, a gente deseja que vocês sejam muito felizes, que você, Marília, não desista.
Tenho certeza do que eu quero namorar você.
A gente é muito intenso.
Muriel de Aquino Silva.
Miss John, they don't really explain
2 horas
it.
seguidas sem parar.
O Khaled é um cara seguro de si e do que quer viver comigo.
A gente vai casar já. A gente já foi morar junto a partir
I'm
de
in love.
Você deu uma titubeada ali, como você mesma disse. Você
But honestly,
se
they could have
assustou com a
replaced any
semelhança
of the
do
other
Khaled com
couples
seu
apart
ex. O
from
que que tava
Leo
passando?
and...
A altura, o jeito, o carisma, tudo. Horas e horas. E ali a gente já não tinha mais dúvida de que a gente se amava muito, de verdade,
Good
assim,
for
que era
her.
verdadeiro tudo.
Momento.
Oh, he
Você
did
tá a fim
have
de
one.
compartilhar um
Okay.
pouquinho com a gente?
Claro.
Because I said he looks like he
Maria
lost
Kel
weight.
passa na minha mente há uns 4 anos. Eu comecei esse processo algumas vezes, mas sozinho, sem ter alguém ali pra não me deixar desistir, eu acabava abandonando e priorizando, porque eu não podia e ela ficava. Então, ter esse suporte, esse apoio dela foi o que eu precisava para realizar esse passo que eu já queria para minha saúde mesmo. Meu corpo já dava sinais e a Muriel deixou isso tudo mais leve, mais fácil de ser feito.
Essa ausência de conversa, de diálogo, me assustou, me deu medo.
Ingrid, como sua esposa,
Sim.
eu tenho nojo da sua voz. Eu tenho nojo da sua boca. Deixando muito claro para que todo mundo aqui ouça. Eu não quero esse homem perto de mim. Você não tem o direito.
I don't like that she was abused.
O programa a gente começa a ter uma relação, a nossa relação ela nunca foi amistosa, ela nunca foi algo que pegou muito. Em determinado momento a gente fiz exame.
Dentro do programa e mesmo assim você foi até o fim e casou.
Eu senti que a gente não estava 100%, mas eu estava
Then
totalmente
why
apaixonado
say
por ela.
yes?
Os problemas que cada um tá trazendo, eu trazendo meus traumas de infância, de adulto, ela trazendo os traumas dela de vários relacionamentos com rapazes, espíritos que não deu certo, o ego.
Interesting. He low-key kind of agreed with what she said, though.
De programa também.
You know, on the... I don't think he was expecting that. I kind of low-key feel bad for him, but I can't stand him. But he's honest.
Importante pra mim. Foi tudo mágico, assim. A minha expectativa
That kind of couple
deu
that
super
are
certo.
not supposed to be together, but they will stick.
Ele precisa ajudar, né?
Cafezinho pra você.
Obviamente que a gente tem as nossas diferenças, mas você só consegue amar o...
Ela que se interessou primeiro pelo pai.
3,
2, 1.
Nah, they're still
Eu
together.
vou mostrar pra vocês que tá tudo bem.
Oh. NSFW!
Gente, uma língua passando no microfone ali, gente.
Honestly, she looks like she could be an actress.
Nós construímos uma história linda, inclusive saímos
Yeah,
e
they're gonna be
continuamos
together forever.
construindo a nossa história. Nós continuamos morando em casas separadas, porque ele tem a vida dele,
So they're dating.
os filhos dele, eu tenho a minha vida. Mas eu acho que a gente se dá tão bem que a nossa relação ela foi construída de uma forma que eu
What's
não
their name? That
conseguiria
ballerina
responder
and
hoje
her
que a gente tem.
short king in
a
season
gente tem
2
respeito um pelo outro, a gente
of Love
se
is
fala
Blind
todos
USA.
os dias. A gente se vê,
I
a
can't
gente
remember.
tá junto assim.
And they live separately after they got married.
Você
So
consegue responder?
Sai, se vê, só que cada um com a sua vida, mas juntos. Então eu falo com a Renata tudo da minha vida, todos os dias.
Eu falei sinceramente, eu consegui tirar lágrimas dele, porque todo mundo ficou chocado na internet. Você conseguiu
no,
fazer
no,
uma
no
gente
original
chorar?
thought in her
Sim,
head.
foi assim, copiado.
We're lucky
foi.
that she
Mas
said
eu
no
falei,
to trying
eu
out.
achei que você chorou e que deu certo, que meu sim veio, entendeu? E que
Stop
agora
talking,
a gente tá aqui numa relação
God.
diferente.
Durante esses dias, vocês votaram.
There are too
Agora
many.
é hora de saber e assistir o maior que limão. Os fãs da
It
Netflix,
has to be,
famosa
Aurelia.
Tropa dos
It
Calanguejos.
has to be.
Mas será que esse revival voltou?
But
E
goodness.
Eu não tenho.
It was a lot, I'm not gonna lie.
Eu
I think
acho
she
que
was
não ia
just
ter um fim
deranged.
pra gente por todos esses
I'm
motivos.
sorry.
Eu, tipo, de se apaixonar, de gostar. Então, achei respeitosamente mandar uma mensagem, né? De tudo, independente de qualquer coisa. Então, eu tentei. Mas a gente não se falou mais depois de tudo isso.
Outras pessoas? Já tá namorando? Já tem alguém? Você e o Ariela?
Eu tirei um tempo pra mim, né? Colocar a vida no lugar.
Brincando, mas eu tenho que trazer um ponto muito...
Her point.
Como você acha que vai ser a vida?
Tem lá fora, enfim, tipo, tem peguete, tem namorada.
Assim, na cabine.
Very enjoyed
Você acha
it
que a Ariela
at the
tinha
end.
razão?
She's fucking nuts!
Sobre?
Premonições.
Eu acho a Ariela...